This program proudly presented by Yellow, supported by American Express, Optus and Qantas Business Rewards.
Hello and welcome to Marketing Matters. I'm Peter Applebaum. Tonight's episode helps you to find the best niche for your business. Being all things to all people is not a great marketing strategy. Successful people, brands and organisations stand for something specific and meaningful to their market. They have a niche. Even big companies still sell within their niche. Nike sells sporting goods, not pizzas. Bunnings sells hardware products, not flights to Bali. So how can you get the most out of your niche? That's what our panel of marketing experts are going to answer. We're going to speak to Martin Whelan from NRMA, Susan Werkner from Interactive Investor, and Ben Kagan from Down and Out Boutique Burgers. But first, our case study for the week. There are many juice companies and brands out there, but the founders of Botanica identified a relatively untapped niche and have been focused on filling that market need ever since. Let's find out more.
So Nadia Enrichment, tell us about what you did before you started making this wonderful magic potion.
Rich and I worked in finance for quite a long time prior to starting the business, which was great because that gave us an opportunity to work in the US, which gave us exposure to this type of sector, the beverage sector.
The juice market is incredibly crowded. How did you actually select what niche to focus on?
We were after more functional beverages and like green juice and things like that when we came home, and we noticed there was nothing like that in retail or cafes and that type of thing.
How important has it been to understand your niche in the growth of the business?
Again, I guess we wanted to create a product that had a function, and it's what the consumers are desiring at the moment. Clean labelling, truthful whole ingredients, and Australian made.
Did you have a clear vision in mind with what you wanted to do with Botanica when you first started it?
Yes, we did. We wanted a brand that represented green. We came across the word Botanica because in South America it's actually a chemist for health and natural nutrition. So it stood for exactly, and a generic brand that wasn't limited to juice.
And you've always had a trade partner rather than an end consumer focus from the start. Was that a specific strategy when you started the business? And how has it worked for you?
Operationally, the decision was made for operational purposes to deliver stock to 1,000 odd individual little cafes and things like that's a lot more difficult. We believe work with someone that knows what they do, they know best. So distributors have it down pat, work with them, but also then stay in contact with the end consumer and work with them and get feedback and let them know that you still know who they are.
What have been some of the key wins you've had that have made a difference to the success of Botanica?
Yeah, working from larger customers such as Qantas, Costco, Harris Farm in particular, as well as smaller customers like Fishbowl Sashimi where we are today, and a lot of our cafes all around the Sydney area that have been a great support and big wins for us.
There's no magic to it. You just have cold calling, pick up the phone, knocking on doors, hitting the pavement. It's a game of attrition, and you have to speak to enough people, knock on enough doors, present your products to enough people to allow you to get the traction and get those wins on the board. But I think specific to some of the bigger clients, Qantas and Costco, you have to offer them something unique, and you have to get them excited about being a long-term partner and showing them that you're willing to innovate for them and be that partner to make them look successful and look good.
So why did you pick green juice out of all the possible juices you could have focused on?
I guess Australia is influenced by products that are available in the US and overseas because everyone travels so much and that type of thing. And there is, you can see in the streets, such a well-being movement that's occurring, that people want things that are good for their inside just as much as exercising for their outside.
And has sampling been key to you spreading the word about the brand?
It's been really important and successful for us. I mean, our product sits on the shelf a good $2 to $3 higher per litre than the other products in the juice section. So letting someone try, break their habit. Often they'll be reaching for the same product over and over again. If you're there to give them a free sample, try it out, they get hooked, and then they believe and understand why it is that extra bit of spots.
So in addition to sampling, what are some of the other marketing strategies you've used to help you grow the brand?
Well, I think a great indicator of marketing that has worked is actually where we are here today at Fishbowl Sashimi here in Bondi. We've created a co-branded product for them. Having gone 4 years just with the Botanica brand, granted that we have the Qantas partnership and so forth, we needed to find new ways, new interesting ways to extend our brand. So we partnered with Fishbowl, who have the same ethics, the same philosophy on food and sourcing as we do. And so we found them as a great partner to co-brand a range of juices to demonstrate that, we go beyond, just the Botanica branding to find channels and ways to work with other businesses, other small businesses as well, to unify and create, interesting products.
So where do you see the Botanica brand and business 5 years from now?
We believe, or we've been working on Botanica now for 5 years, so in another 5 years' time will be 10 years. We hope that it's one of Australia's most recognised healthy food and beverage, functional food and beverage companies.
So what can we learn from Botanica's success? Find a gap in the market and fill it? Get potential long-term partners excited about your product and, of course, consumers too. And as we saw, sampling is a great way of doing this. Remember, tasting is believing. And have a vision for your business and a plan for how to get there. If you have any questions or suggestions, let us know on Facebook at Marketing Matters TV or contact us via the website at marketingmatterstv.com. After the break, we speak to 3 experts on the American Express marketing panel.
Marketing Matters returns soon, thanks to American Express Business Explorer. Let your business expenses reward you. Marketing Matters is proudly presented by Yellow. Do business with Yellow. Connect at yellow.com.au.
Welcome back. To discuss how you can find the best niche for your business, we're joined by Martin Whelan, Group General Manager of Marketing at NRMA, Australia's largest motoring services organisation, Susan Workner, Managing Director of Interactive Investor and an innovator in the field of digital investor communications, and Ben Kagan, Managing Director and Creative Director of boutique burger chain Down and Out. So Martin, why is focusing on a niche so important?
Look, I think it just goes back to the most basic fundamental of marketing, which is about knowing your audience, really knowing who you're trying to appeal to, what their needs are, really understanding that, so ultimately you can make your business more successful.
Okay. And Susan, Rich and Nadia from Botanica were very clear on their niche from the start. Should entrepreneurs find a niche first and then start a business, or start a business and then find a niche?
Well, I think finding a niche is the foundation of any successful and profitable business. So I think that's number one. And from there, all your other decisions you make regarding your business are critical, and that's the first one. So I think really it's about the 4 Ps of niche marketing.
I thought it was the 4 Ps of marketing.
No, this one's the 4 Ps of niche marketing.
You've made it up, Susan.
So I did. But the 4 Ps really, it does go to the elements of niching, which is number 1, passion. Have a passion for your industry that you're going to have your niche in. Secondly, second P is problem. What problem are you going to be solving? That's really key. Third one is people. Do you understand the people that you'll be marketing to and the customers? What are their needs? What are their fears? And the last one being profit. If you have made sure that your problem is big enough and the number of people that have that problem is large enough, you can make sure you have a profitable business.
Which we all need, of course, which leads us to Ben Kagan. What has been the most successful strategy for Down and Out in identifying your niche in, say, boutique burgers?
So for us, there's been 2 things actually. The first one is being exclusively American-style burgers. So we're in a very competitive market. Everyone's selling burgers, or a lot of people are selling burgers, and we try to keep it as American as possible. Right. The second thing is how we've marketed our products, or how we've structured our brand voice. We're a little bit rude, we're a little bit out there, and a lot of brands
a little bit millennial.
A little bit millennial, yeah. And a lot of people are scared to take that risk, and I think the more you stand out, the better.
And it's resonating in the market.
100%, yeah. And the results have shown, yeah.
Fantastic. So, Martin, how can you find out whether a niche will be profitable?
That's probably one of the hardest parts of it. I think when I look at that, I think the main thing where businesses go wrong with that is really taking a broader look, not just about how you build your product, but also the cost to serve overall. And increasingly where you're dealing with multiple channels, whether it's digital or a physical channel, that's where it often goes wrong in trying to actually figure out what your cost to serve is and how you economically get the product to the customer. So I think really understanding not only the product, but how you're actually going to deliver it is a fundamental to figure out whether you can do it profitably or not.
Right.
And also how much competition is probably occupied in that space as well. Generally, you'll find if there's, in a market like Australia, if there's too many people involved in a category, it's going to be very difficult to make money in that category.
Right. And Susan, how is marketing to a niche different and better than marketing to a broader market?
Well, I think marketing to a niche is actually much easier than marketing to a broader market. And the reason is invariably any large world-class successful business started off as a niche. You think Apple, Amazon, Google, Disney. Disney started off as a cartoonist, and now they have theme parks, merchandising, a whole slew of different products and services. So I think if you're marketing to a broader niche, you unfortunately can fall into the trap like Myer has recently with their half-year results, where they have lost their focus. They no longer know who their market is. It used to be the well-off middle-class women who like to go into the stores. Now the budget-conscious shoppers, they're also trying to attract those, and they've lost their focus. So much easier to market to a niche than to a broader market.
And Ben, final quick question. Am I running the risk of putting a ceiling on my profits when focusing on a niche as opposed to other areas?
To be honest, I think it's good to just start off investigating one niche in particular, and then see where it goes from there. There's no risk in trying something and then developing it from there.
So are there more niches in Down and Out's future?
Potentially. We're definitely expanding, but not too... you don't want to, shoo off your regular customers.
I see. Okay. Coming up after the break, the panel discusses this week's marketing news and views.
Marketing Matters is back in a moment. Thanks to Optus. Say yes to growing your business. Marketing Matters is proudly presented by Yellow. Do business with Yellow. Connect at yellow.com.au.
And welcome back to Marketing Matters. This week on News and Views, using technology to help you market your business can be enormously beneficial. Gartner research has shown that 47% of smaller businesses are not using technology platforms like Salesforce, HubSpot, or even email marketing platforms like MailChimp to help them with their marketing programs. Martin, should every small business be using technology to better market their business?
Absolutely. Yeah. And I would say the number one thing they should do is use it to try and get repeatable business. The most expensive marketing is going to be winning new customers. If you can win them and keep them coming back, that's a huge advantage.
Right. And Susan, we've got people in the audience saying, you keep talking about digital marketing. Is that the same as marketing technology, marketing automation?
It's true. It can be confusing. So the two are different. Marketing technology is software that you use for your business that automates, activates, and makes your processes of business more efficient. So that could be like Xero, MyOb, Salesforce is another one that can help. Then digital marketing, which should really dovetail with your marketing technology, are platforms you use to reach out to your customers. So social media, email marketing, any of the other platforms you use,
many of which
Ben
are free.
would use for his, exactly. I'm sure, what sort of platforms do you use, for example, Ben?
Mostly Facebook and Instagram.
Right.
Exactly.
So, Ben, to that point, as the millennial on the panel, it's not that obvious, just to let you know. What should I do if I'm a technophobe and I don't know how to turn on a computer? How can I use marketing automation, marketing technology?
Definitely understand the basics at the very least, and then maybe speak to some people who do use it, get some advice from everyone else, because the technology moves so quickly, it changes all the time. And then engage a third party to handle it for you. I think that's probably the best way to go.
So you as a business owner, you've got to say, I need to know what I need to achieve from a marketing point of view and then take it from there.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, so Martin, how do I know which technology I should adopt? It's a big question, isn't it, if you don't know much about the technology
Yeah, I think
on offer?
probably the most important thing there is making sure that what you get is applicable to your business. So don't buy something that's got too much scale. If you're a small business and you're trying to find out what's available, find out what's easy to use, find what you can pick up and adopt very quickly, and just get familiar with it and start to use it.
Right. So, Susan, last word. What should a smaller business do from a marketing automation point of view?
I think make sure that they have something that's critical to making sure they stay in contact with their customers, because invariably if you have a business, it's very hard to keep track. You know, restaurants, for example, will use, for example, something like Open Table that keeps track of all the people in the restaurants. Okay. And I think having a niche, again, is very important, because you have an inch wide and a mile deep.
Sounds good. Ben, would you agree?
Yeah, definitely. Technology, automation just makes the job easier, right?
Get third parties if you don't know what you're doing.
100%,
Awesome.
yeah.
I would like to thank Martin, Susan and Ben for their time and insights on this week's panel. And we'll see you again after this short break.
Marketing Matters is back in a moment, thanks to Qantas Business Rewards, rewarding Australian business. Marketing Matters is proudly presented by Yellow. Do business with Yellow. Connect at yellow.com.au.
And welcome back. Let's review our key tips on how you can find the best niche for your business. First, what are you passionate about? What excites you? What gets you out of bed in the morning? If you don't care about what you're selling, how can you expect your customers to get emotionally involved? Second, find problems to solve. It may be your problem or those of your potential customers. What doesn't exist that should? Find something that annoys you or your market is often the best place to start. Next, combine more than one niche. How about a yoga studio for pregnant women? Or Ziggity Snippets, the hairdressing salon franchise for kids' hair? You've heard of Uber? How about Sheba, the all-female ride-sharing service? Think about what currently exists and how you can improve on it. Then use free publicity. While it's the same advice as last week with how you can build your brand, it's good advice. If you have a new and interesting niche, the media may want to hear about it. The media is content hungry. They need to come up with new stories every day. Yours could be one of them. And finally, build on your strength. Let's just say your niche is working. Now it's time to pivot. If your beauty salon is known for creating the best eyelashes, sell products to help clients maintain the look at home. When your customers like what you're doing, invariably they want more from you. And some viewer comments from last week's episode on how to build your brand. Matthew from Hobart said, "Love the idea of using the business owner as an influencer rather than paying someone else who doesn't care as much." And Jake from Sydney wrote, "A business is more than just a logo. Keeping your customers happy is a great place to start with building up a brand." Thanks for your feedback. And don't forget to give us your comments, suggestions and questions on Facebook at Marketing Matters TV or via the website at marketingmatterstv.com. Thanks for watching Marketing Matters. See you next week.
This program proudly presented by Yellow, supported by American Express, Optus and Qantas Business Rewards.